Welcome back, friends. It's time for game number 2. TALON versus FNATIC. Korea versus Japan. And this might be the last time we see FNATIC in this form, as things will be changing. Mag is coming in come stage 3, but that's only in stage 3. The roster has to prove itself today and push itself even further away from relegations, because they've actually played not too badly over the past few weeks, Fabian.
Well, not too badly, and then FNATIC together, that's a hard combination for me, because I don't enjoy their playstyle. I just don't. Even if they won their game against Fav, I mean, they won by 1 point. Fav has 2 points in this stage total. They're dead last in the overall standings. And then they won against Spear, which, well, they're still playing with their coach, because 11 is still recovering from, was it illness surgery? One of them. So, yeah, FNATIC playing well or not as bad. I wouldn't put it that far just yet. They can still do some upsets, and I guess going up against TALON, I still see them as the weaker team. It's just that they need to show that they don't make these individual mistakes anymore. When they show me that, then I'll praise them. But until then, I'll be very skeptical about their playstyle.
FNATIC, like the APAC North G2 for Fabian, is like he just wants to go in on them every single time.
Hey, he talked nicely about G2 last time.
He did.
Because they actually are starting to win.
And I will get him talking nicely about FNATIC at some point. But what I will say for FNATIC is they know there's a roster change coming, because they know Mag is coming into this roster.
Yeah, it's confirmed.
The org does obviously clearly does not move somebody to Japan for them to not come into the roster. He's coming in. So there's probably a few players that are thinking today, this is maybe my last shot inside of a tier 1 game. I need to step it up. I maybe even am playing for my spot if I'm one of the FNATIC players. So I'm expecting big things out of them today.
And TALON on the other side took an L against CAG, but they beat Sandbox, and we just heard it from Envy Taylor from Sandbox that they were quite sad that they couldn't take down TALON in that match. Of course, all 3 top Korean teams between TALON, Sandbox, and Damwon Kia were looking for the top who can be number 1, at least in between them, not even looking at the entire standings. And like you described it over the past few weeks with TALON, Jack, we've seen them on the up and up in stage 1.
Yep.
Oh, they're about to hit it, and then they quit it.
The way that I see TALON is, and I go back to like literally stage 3 last year, was 1 step backwards when they brought Heady Endemic into this roster for 2 steps forward in stage 1. And I feel like this is another 1 step backward stage for them. Obviously, they changed out 2 players again this stage. Had to take a step back because obviously new players integrating them into your system, etc. But I think there are very promising signs from this team looking towards stage 3. I think they started to show a glimpse of that against Sandbox last week. I think they can continue showing a glimpse of that today. And then stage 3, this is a roster that I can probably genuinely get a little bit excited about.
I completely agree with that. And looking back at their game against Damwon Kia, it was one of the first times that we saw Damwon Kia being actually challenged by a team, and a team getting to the position where, well, we can actually execute around against Damwon Kia.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen that for a really long time, and now obviously Sandbox beating them today is kind of, I guess, an upset, but TALON is the only team other than them we've seen do so. So yeah, I just hope it's up for them, because they've been playing well stage 1, stage 2. I felt it was a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction replacing 2 players, but yeah, maybe Jack is right. They took 1 step back, 2 forward, and now they're taking 1 back and 2 forward again. I hope that for them, because they're fun to watch.
And this game will be proving ground for both of these 2 squads, again, in preparation for stage 3. TALON can get those extra points and really put themselves in the middle, because should TALON be victorious, they might have the shot of being in the top 4. Maybe not the top 2 that will go to Berlin, but have some SI points at the end of it all. So our map for the series, which one will it be out of our 9 map pool? Of course, you'll see the same pool as we go into Berlin. That'll be Clubhouse. TALON will have the last pick. They'll move Villa, start on defense. FNATIC opting for the attacking side of one of the most 50-50 maps at this point.
Yeah, high preference map for FNATIC. They play it quite a lot. We've seen them on it quite a lot. One thing I think back to, I think it was stage 1, was Chibisu and his Fawn gameplay on it. He actually was quite good. But for TALON, it's quite a low preference map, and I wonder again if it's kind of a case of not too much to play for, just go to a club that's very generic. There's not too much new stuff you can do on club. Get it done, get it out of the way. That's my kind of vibe that I'm getting from this map pick.
Yeah, it could also be that they've studied what FNATIC does, because FNATIC is a very repetitive team that keeps doing the same thing on paper, as I've spoken about in previous match days. They just keep doing the same thing over and over. Now, it might be that TALON have studied exactly what they need to do to counter that, which is basically let them peek you 1 by 1 and you'll win.
Yep.
We'll see if they keep doing that in FNATIC, but I do think that TALON have a chance here to go above CAG in the overall standings if they grab the win. So they wanted 3 points. They want to climb as high as they can for SI points. Even if the game for this stage is not so much on the line, for the overall picture, there's still some stuff to fight for.
Talon are 5th right now at 8 points. Cyclops are at 11 points at 3rd. So should Talon be able to get all 3 points today, then they would be tied with Cyclops. However, since Cyclops beat Talon, I don't know, the differential would be in head-to-head or it would be in total, at least in APAC North.
Head-to-head.
And head-to-head, which means that there is a potential today, depending on how the reject game goes versus Cyclops, that we would see Talon in that 4th spot, especially if Cyclops are able to beat reject, in which case Talon's victory today, that might actually give them quite a bit of a side points preparation for the next stage. So yeah, lab is ready, gentlemen, though. So let's see how it goes. Jack, Fabian, thank you very much. FNATIC versus Talon. Let's toss it to our casters. It's this. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Milosh. We are going to be bringing you all the action today. You got me, Ace Pyrite, and Desertu joining me from home once again. Looking cool there, Des. I'm loving the shirt.
I was really hoping blindly you'd match me with like a short sleeve.
I mean, we're fairly well coordinated in terms of colours. I mean, this hasn't been discussed.
We are.
How do they build that synergy?
How do they build that synergy? You know, Tim, a little fun thing about this map as well, Clubhouse coming into it. I did a little bit of a stat dive just before we got into this game. Interestingly, Clubhouse is the 2nd lowest defender win rate map in every major region around the world. Across NA, across APAC North, EU, and LATAM. It's all coming for all of them, coming in as the 2nd highest defensive win rate. So looking at these two teams coming into today, we know that we've spoken a lot about FNATIC's attacking form. It has improved over the weeks, but is it good enough they can really crack this one wide open? That remains to be seen, because looking back at history, both of these teams have played Fav and both have beat Fav in overtime. So they've got kind of a similar history on it against a relatively similar team. This could actually prove to be a really banger match.
I've got a feeling that it will be. I've got a feeling that Talon haven't really, I think, fulfilled their potential, I'm going to say. And I feel like, unfortunately, that's something I've been saying for 3 or 4 stages for Talon now. It feels like they're always on the cusp of something, and it never seems to get delivered. But we'll see whether they can put up a good performance against FNATIC, who are on a little bit of an up at the minute. We've got Hibana and Monte are going to be our first 2 attacker bans, and we will follow that up with 2 defenders.
Absolutely. Rifle through these nice and quick. The Monty ban, not the biggest surprise in the world. We've seen teams in EU abusing this a little bit. Even with the Thatcher being left open, they feel like high ban is the go-to play here. So I guess that more looking to afford a bit of flexibility on the attacking side for FNATIC, maybe not worrying too much about the Thatcher. Though we see a number of teams still bringing Thatcher regardless of whether or not you have a Bandit or Kite available, for example. Bandit doesn't really matter that much anymore, but looking in towards things like Mute Jammers, Mozzie Pest, that you'll often see out on the roam around the map, still very, very valuable at getting those switched offline. Same with things like ADSs. It's just kind of we want to be lazy about it, chuck down a couple of EMPs and away we go. We'll see if FNATIC want to employ that in their attacks, though, as we're going to start off in the basement, Tim.
We are all the way down to the bottom. Church and Arsenal will kick us off. Talon on the defence to start with. Immediately catching my eye is Soldier here at the moment. He's on the Vigil, an operator that we do see from time to time on this site. We've commented quite a few times before that it is a bit of a selfish operator, and I don't say that in a negative way, just that his utility is very focused around his own performance and what he can do. He's not really bringing too much to the team. He's getting out there, he's keeping himself off the drones. His visual signature is removed from any attacker drones that go in, so long as his scrambling device is activated at that point in time. They will get the little white lines that will notify them there's a vigil in the area, but that area is quite considerable, so it leads to them having to go in and face check everything basically, and it really can slow an attack down, but Soldier has to use it wisely. He needs to burn a lot of time and he needs to get a kill or 2, because if he doesn't, he's not really brought too much to the team.
I was really curious to see how Talon would roll their lineup today. In the interview with Misa last week when they won their game, I asked him, you know, what's going on with your lineup? Because you've had Marble move from being the Jaeger main, out on the roam, being aggressive, down to playing things like Mute, and then finally being pushed back onto the smoke and taking Misa's role. And he said, yeah, you know, we've actually had a little bit of experimentation. We haven't really felt fully comfortable in our roles, but now I feel that we're getting there. They are rolling the same sort of lineup that they did last week, where you've got Marble once again playing hard on that smoke roll, hard support for them. Misa supporting him in the second supportive role, and Hedy getting kind of a promotion. He was playing flank watch last week, a lot of Nomad. Here he's on things like the Azami as well, leaving Demic and Soldier to be your entries. So I feel like finally we are starting to see some structure coming through for these guys. Structure that may well have just been shattered though. Chibisu, the early entry onto Demic.
Nice from FNATIC. They saw him on the drone and they took action, managing to get that kill straight away. They're also going to spot out Soldier now, who's tried to get himself down to that bottom garage, but he could find himself in a position where he dies exactly the same as Demic did here. But as you can see, that Vigil Scrambler just able to keep him off the radar there. He gets himself away down Oil Pit, which is exactly what Demic was trying to do. And Demic's death there has forced Soldier back to site, because what he doesn't want to do now is overcommit on that roam and leave his team short-handed downstairs. We're halfway through the round, so it's not a terrible effort from Talon on the roam here. They've burnt half of the round. They haven't got any kills, but now FNATIC are working against the clock. But without Kaid there should be nothing really to slow them down.
Absolutely that, Tim. They've got so much time still to play with here. I know you're looking at that clock and thinking 65 seconds. That's not a lot, but they've been getting to work for the last 30 seconds as well and getting things open. Some teams barely start to even get starting to set up for an actual execute itself until you get to the last like 50 seconds or so, because you've got to force those roamers back downstairs. So a good job being done, but Soldier is looking to get a little bit cheeky here and maybe thinking about trying to get his way back up. Obviously needs to get rid of the Claymore, which is done by impacting on towards the grate on the left. Just wants to make sure no one's going to hear that. Otherwise, they will be watching the angle from lounge and he'll be dead as soon as he gets up that ladder.
That's the problem. Maybe just mistimes that by a second or two there, but it does allow him to slip up that ladder, clearing it out. Didn't quite manage to hit at the same time as the explosion that we heard elsewhere in the map. Chibisu, I think they're aware of this, Des. He's got the drone straight in there. They know that there's the potential for a flank coming above. Yura's going to get Marble, and I tell you what, Soldier's going to have to move himself quickly here, because it's 2 versus 5 down on site at the minute. Hedy gets taken down, 1 versus 5. Diffuser's going down. Misa manages to get Chibisu, nearly gets Lily in dirt tunnel as well, but nothing can be done to stop Siru planting that diffuser. It's successful from FNATIC. It's all up to Misa, as we saw the Vigil taken down as he tried to move back off the flank. Lily with the final kill, and that is a beautiful attack from FNATIC. What I've particularly been impressed with there is their use of information and utility. They had Talon locked down throughout that round. They knew every step they were taking and they punished them.
What I like the most is what you kind of touched on there as well, is the identify soldiers out and about around the map. Oh, there's only 3 on site. There's 5 of us. We can overpower them here. They get a couple of kills. Plant goes down. Soldiers left trying to make something happen and simply can't. You maybe will ask a couple of questions about positioning there. I think we had the smoke, playing on the double door coming out of church. Normally you'd have something like a Maestro sat holding that angle, so the Alder can go down long corridor. It can look up to, towards the hatch drop, for example, inside a kitchen. And Smoke might normally play much closer with a shotgun on something like the Moto door. But really, they were a little bit light on the ground. There was only 1 player inside a church because they had those 2 roamers out and about around the map. So, well read by FNATIC. Talon may be a little bit inefficient there with the positions their players are playing in. Have made it all too easy for FNATIC to get in and win the round.
We're going to move on then to our second site, which, Des, we've seen so much more of this site over the last couple of weeks. It's going to be Bar and Stage once again. It's going to lead to Talon trying to hold on to that top floor. They want to keep hold of construction. They've got the Echo from Marble as well. Always an interesting choice and one to watch out, particularly how well those Yokai drones survive, because obviously, you know, that's the biggest weapon in his arsenal, really, is being able to deny that diffuser plant later on by using the stun ability of his gadget to prevent the attackers getting that down. So he's like a last line of defense, really. So Marble needs to be keeping himself alive deep into the action this round.
I do keep on speaking about mirrors for this site as well. I really enjoy when teams bring a mirror along and have one facing out towards Jacuzzi from bathroom, which is obviously not going to happen here because there is no mirror, and one inside of construction as well, looking down, well, inside Logi in towards construction. It just gives you some really, really effective spots where you can sit and hold and basically block off construction. You stop Jacuzzi being free entry for them, because otherwise FNATIC can just basically march in once they've got these breaches opened up. For now, at least, they're relying a lot, it seems, on the Dinar. They've got the Evil Eyes on site, for example. They've got a bulletproof camera down there. They've got the castle barricades. Really a lot of actual site-focused utility and nothing on the top floor, which is exactly why FNATIC can just march their way through and slam everyone into the ground. If you're going to hold on that upstairs, boys, you've got to bring some utility for it.
Euro's just going to hold on to the angle to prevent anybody else trying to rotate back up. It is something that Talon may try to do, but in a 2v5, they're a little bit light-handed to be able to retake that top floor. There is somebody actually flanking around the back. It's going to be Misa on the Maestro, not the ideal operator to be doing it with. Shut down by Chibisu from the CCTV window, and right now it's all up to Marble. At the beginning of the round, I said that he had to stay late into the action here. He is the last line of defence. Well, right now, he is quite literally the last line of defence in a 1v5. They're all training and heading down the stairs to try and find him. He manages to get the first onto Euro, but the problem is they know where he is now, and they're just going to push in and start getting that diffuser down. They can just keep him at bay with nades and utility. They don't need to overly challenge this. Light is successful, I think, by a fraction of a second, but Lily manages to get that final kill, and as you mentioned, FNATIC's attacks at the beginning of this game, and well, they're sending a message right now, 2-0.
They are absolutely shining, Tim. Yeah, again, I think for me, it's just a good read on their side. They're identifying opportunities or cracks in the armor of Talon. Back in round 1, it was, okay, only 3 are on site. Even if we play for trades here, we overpower them. Go, 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 go. In that last round there, again, there's barely anything on the upstairs, guys. They've got 3 playing upstairs. There's no real utility up here. Go, 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 go. And again, this is where I think for a team like Talon, I know you're trying to get aggressive and get out around the map. FNATIC have got an answer for you at every single turn here. And again, just a small hole in the defense that Euro can walk in through bedroom like this and get a freebie just walking in towards Secret. Again, it just shows there isn't enough cover being provided by Talon. There isn't enough setup upstairs in terms of utility. Mirror windows, again, was a wonderful example that I brought out. Just find ways to really cement yourself in your hold here, because otherwise, FNATIC are just going to keep on running through you.
Back we go to Church and Arsenal. Talon deciding to give it another go here. Soldier is going to be on the vigil once again. I'll be honest, I felt that the impact of that operator in round 1 was pretty limited. You know, he did try that late flank manoeuvre, but FNATIC were well on top of it and able to shut it down. So we need to be seeing a little bit more, because obviously you look at that situation and you think, right, well, if he's not going to play the vigil, what other utility could he be bringing? You know, could he be bringing a Mozzie along? FNATIC have been playing fantastically well on the intel and the drone game, so let's hinder that. Let's get a few of those pests out there, capture a few drones, just prevent them being able to use them in those key areas. You know, so without a couple of kills here, you got to question that operator pick for Soldier now.
It's kind of one of those, okay, look, it failed once, guys, we can make it work this time. If they really feel like they know what didn't work out last time, and arguably it was Soldier being pinned down inside of Oil, had to then work his way up past the Claymore, up across the top floor, by which time FNATIC had already smashed the site. And maybe they were somewhat lamenting the fact that Demek had gone down early. If he was alive a bit later, that roam could have been more effective. So maybe that's what they're gunning for in the round. But I am with you, running the same thing again. I feel like FNATIC will just look for that same opportunity. 2 you off site. Guess where we're going to be? On site.
Exactly that. Right now, FNATIC drawn in across that top floor. Soldier again getting chased out. And this is because FNATIC are doing such great work on the drones. But if anybody can avoid it, it should be a vigil. But right now, he can't. He's had to wriggle back to site. That's half health, tail between his legs. And FNATIC's push continues. They've now got control of the top 2 floors. 1 minute 40 left to go. As we've said previously, that is plenty of time here. They've got the hard breach on side. They don't have Kaid to work against. They've got the Maverick as well. And they can just start pressuring onto site now. But Talon, the one thing they've got for them, last time FNATIC tried to push onto site, as we've said, it was a 5v3 effectively. One was dead, Soldier was top floor, he'd rotated. But that's not going to be the case this time. They're going to have to play into a full complement.
I think at this point, yeah, I probably would look at changing away that vigil, because clearly FNATIC have just got the answer to it as well. So thinking about how this plays out, cool, you got the 5v5, not bad. I say that, and the smoke is yet again the first to die. Marble, well, I think he wasn't first to die last time, but on site he was the first one to die. Twice now he's been caught out on that exact same door. Does have more support, but Demet there has been watching elsewhere, hasn't been giving him any kind of cover, and has just gone down for free. In fact, Euro was on bottom main stairs, so okay, he was peeking him. Is that what you want a smoke to be doing, boys? Probably not.
Lily is going to get the kill onto Misa, and that leaves us once again in that 5 versus 3. Soldiers half health as well. Lily has taken a little bit of damage. We've got a battle going on around main stairs there. Soldier trying to fight that long angle, but it's likely to be a loser against the attackers with the superior scopes. Chibisu trying to push from blue as well. I love this from FNATIC. There's pressure all around us. They're in Moto, they're in blue. They're making it difficult for Talon to focus in any one direction. But here goes Demet. Demic. He might just get away with this. Finds himself a freebie, but they will now know where he is. Heady manages to get Yura. Chibisu leaves it in a 3v1 as he gets the trade onto Demic. It's all up to Heady in behind the bar, but Siru, he's in a position to start putting this diffuser down. Doesn't need to, as Lily gets in and gets that final kill. And FNATIC go 3 attacking rounds, 3 attacking wins, 3 entry kills as well. FNATIC flying.
It's just one of those again, Tim. I know I touched on it in the middle of the round, but Marble being dead first in the terms of site push.
Big problem,
on the smoke,
big problem.
on double door. They brought a shield along, which I imagine, I didn't see where it was, but I imagine it was covering the rotate through from Stack. But at the same time, if you want to play a smoke in that kind of spot where he can challenge onto bottom main stairs, that's great. Put a shield inside of the hallway. Bring one along. Drop the Vigil out, for example. Bring something that has that second shield for you. Because at the minute, again, FNATIC are just tearing them absolutely to shreds here. There's nothing they're really doing that suggests to me they even have an outside chance of winning this round. Even when things look like, oh, okay, someone's got a small flank off here and got a freebie, instantly FNATIC flick to that spot and get the trade back straight away. It just feels like such a one-sided game right now. I think across the 3 rounds, we've seen 4 kills for all of Talon. It ain't pretty.
I don't think we've seen a toxic babe canister deployed either,
No.
which is a big problem. Because look at that situation there. So you've got the push mainly coming through Blue and Moto. Both areas that if a smoke is playing in a more default smoke position, so I'm thinking in Dirt Tunnel, or I'm thinking inside of Church Double Door, and in around Small Bar area, plant spot. At that point, both of those pushes can be denied by, you guessed it, toxic babe canisters. You put them onto Motor Door, you're going to burn 30-40 seconds of that push. From Dirt Tunnel, you're going to put them into Blue, you're going to stop 30-40 seconds of that push. And that is a big problem for Talon on the defence. You can't, like you say, have that smoke peeking early and losing that utility, taking it with him. And then guess what? The pushes come through avenues, lanes that you would have been able to shut down. So, you know, if you're going to do that, the only time that we see a smoke play aggressively like that is where you've got your alternative denial. You've got a Tachanka in the lineup. You've got another plan. But that's just not the case for Talon here. Heady has taken some... It's just all going wrong, Des. It's all going wrong. He's taken half damage during the setup. It's easy. It happens, yes. Is it helpful? Absolutely not. They're going to be in CCTV and cash. Heady trying to hold on to Catwalk as well with half health. Good luck.
It makes you nervous, right? I'm looking towards the Wamai here and asking, okay, well, where's the Wamai in this case? I understand why you got the Izami there, but you need these magnets to start flying all around to keep them safe. They're being deployed mostly instead inside of sight. So a little bit nervous here that he could just get spammed out. There's 6 nades on the side of FNATIC, for example, plus the 3 flashes. A little bit of coordination here puts Heady under a lot of pressure.
That's it. They don't even need a nade to land cleanly. He's half health. You know, it doesn't even need to land right on top of him and it'll get the job done. We're going to have the East Breach. I've got to say as well, how fantastically quickly FNATIC have worked here. We've got East Breach open. We've got Lower Garage open. We've got pressure being applied to Heady straight away. They are absolutely not messing about. They are straight in here. This is absolutely lightning quick from them. And I love it. But they're still keeping up with that intel game. They're still keeping on the drones. They have got Talon's backs to the wall.
I think what they're slightly mindful of, though, is the number of soft holes that have been opened up in these walls, or the holes that have been opened up in the soft wall. That's what I was going for. They've got the one through stage, for example. They've got one through into garage. So someone inside a stock can control basically the entire ground floor of this map. They've got to be so careful of that. But Marble, once again, is going to be the first death. Now, he had a C4 in back pocket, I'm pretty sure. What's going on, buddy? What's going on?
Soldier's
Like,
going to make...
I don't understand the push down.
Soldier's going to make the push onto Europe, but it's not going to be enough. He always wanted that kill onto Demic. He gets himself a triple des. Manages to find Soldier at the top of red stairs as well. 5v2 now. There's another one there for you, Eura, if you want it. Mees is having a look as well. Come one, come all, Eura says. I'll take you down one by one. He gets himself the 4th. Can he get the ace? No! Siru manages to get the final kill, but it's another FNATIC round of total and complete domination.
And yet again, it's frustrating because Yura there has got into stock, has walked into lounge and killed 3-4 people in separate 1v1s, all completely isolated. Now, the first kill onto Marble, I really feel like I'm hounding on this one guy here, but he's really caught my eye in the last few weeks as a player that has really got to step up. There's a reason why he's being juggled around in roles. Like, why? there's a very good chance you heard stock window get shot out. You know someone's likely either pushing in or droning through. So why are you walking down when you've got top red control? For Demet to then be stuck in a 1 versus 1 in lower lounge is a little bit silly as well. Like, Marble doesn't hit a single shot onto Euro as well. It's just one of those that I look at and just think, boys, that could not have been played any more wrongly if you tried it. They've had their time out. There's no time for amendments now. And I want to say it's time to get it right, but that was last round. We're now into 4 rounds where they have been utterly slammed. They only got 1 more kill in that round, which was onto Heady. They've now got 5 kills across 4 rounds, Tim. It's tragic.
I'm going to double down on that Marble death, Des, because there's another frustration, shall we say, about that death. So I dare say that they probably wasn't a drone watching red stairs. It's more likely to have been keeping an eye on Demic and Garage. They may well have been a drone, don't get me wrong, but when Marble died, if you noticed, if the keen-eyed amongst you will have looked down to his feet, and the fact that he was stood in the middle of the barbed wire on the stairs, a defender has walked into their own gadget, giving that audio cue to Euro to say, I can hear the barbed wire on stairs. Guess what? There's somebody on stairs. I can just peek around here. And he gets himself an absolute freebie. And it is little mistakes like that where they are just completely throwing away their lives to FNATIC.
There's going to be so many things you can look at that play and just say it was done wrong. From the barb to having a C4 in back pocket to knowing you've got top red control anyway to no communication onto Demic inside lounge stairs. Just, again, lots went off there. Let's see if it improves in this round, but I would be not unreasonable in saying I don't think it will, Tim. FNATIC here could very well just steamroll this half 6-0. Misa now sat at the top of red, though. We're seeing this extended hold come through for Gym and Bedroom. We're very used to seeing this by now. He is alone. There is Demic on the downstairs. Sometimes you'll see 3 players holding up here, but Demic's down in the basement. Misa is very much isolated. Has got to be so careful because getting pushed into here is going to be so easy.
That was my concern for Misa, was the isolation.
And
there you go.
go.
Siru's got him cleared, and once again, quite quickly, halfway through the round now, FNATIC have got that control of CCTV and cash. They're going to realise that very quickly. They're going to push forward through into construction, and they're going to be able to start using those windows. We've got Keeper Barricades trying to block them off. The big question in this round is, has Demic been picked up? I've been waxing lyrical about FNATIC's information game, their droning game so far. The question is, are they keeping on top of it? Do they know about the Jaeger? Because he could hit them hard on the flank. Euro's movement below suggests that they just might.
They might have the idea, yeah. I mean, my only slight concern here is you can get back towards site quite comfortably, and they'll no doubt know that he's penned in on this side, as you can see from Euro. The rest of them could just focus entirely on looking in towards site here. They've got the cash DC control. The hold from Talon was pathetic, to put it bluntly. They had 1 player there by themselves that was so easily picked out, and now it's all focused on towards site again, where FNATIC have got tons of time. It's a nade through the floor. Down goes Soldier. We're in FNATIC's playground here, Tim, and my God, Talon are hating every second.
They really are not enjoying their day-to-day.
Hey,
Lily is going
one.
to get headed. There's the kill from Demic onto Euro. Marble manages to get one onto Siru. Talon might be fighting their way back here, but unlikely, as Demic needs to get himself back into sight. The plant is going down, but once again, time is cut short by Lily as he manages to pop around the corner, get himself a kill onto the Jaeger, shut down the round. It's 5-0 FNATIC.
The only real bit of resistance being shown by Marble on site, instantly traded out. So even when FNATIC is saying, oh, okay, something's gone against plan here, we've lost out on the 1v1 we were looking for, there was no trade play coming out from Talon in the first place. So FNATIC go, thank you very much. We'll take the free trade. Get the kill back onto Marble inside a bathroom. It's exactly like when Demic got the flank off on the downstairs. They call his in Moto. He's hit us on the flank. Someone immediately, it was Chibisu, flicks over towards Moto and gets the kill. The exact same thing has happened just then. So even when Talon are finding step 1 of success, there's still 5 more they've got to get through to actually win a round. And I just don't see a world in which they fight that now. This is their 6th defensive round. Again, the number of kills they've got, it's miserable, Tim. It's 7.
The big problem here is we've lamented over the fact that FNATIC have not been great on the attack. That's been one of their big problems, but they're absolutely steamrolling Talon on the attack at the minute. So my question here is, forget this round, let's for argument's sake say it goes the way of history and it's 6-0 FNATIC. Do Talon stand any chance against FNATIC on the defense? Because if anything, I expect them to be even better. And I just can't see Talon being able to turn this around. As you say, there are no kills going in their direction. There's just nothing happening for them at the minute. FNATIC, they're going to be straight onto the attack once again. It's going to be Church and Arsenal. And Des, you'll be happy to know the vigil has gone.
The Vigil has gone, and taking its place is the Azami. They moved a couple of things around there, mind you, because, for example, Heady here is on... Hang on, my cat has just jumped all over my keyboard. Thank you very much. Heady here's gone into the Wamai as well, so there are a couple of changes that have come in terms of their setup from what we've seen previously. More rotating that Azami off towards Soldier and saying, right, you're not on a hard roam anymore. Heady can play the Wamai. We can try and shut down this very heavy nade game coming out of FNATIC. But obviously the problem with the up nades that we've seen so far is they're hard to shut down. On the downstairs, it's not so bad to do, but you're still going to have them raining through the ceiling, so those magnets have got to be really well placed.
Look at this chase from Yura. The confidence is just absolutely brimming in the man at the minute. 10 and 3.
Does he see the barrel?
He just wants the fight, doesn't he? He's like, give it to me on a plate. He's heading down behind that drone and he's just looking for anything he can get. Bottom of main stairs already. This could be a little bit unexpected for Talon here. They might not be expecting to be pressured inside a site. Yura's poised. He's ready, Des.
They have no idea he's here as well. This is the worst part about it. I think now they have an idea. Yes, they do. Shots come through. So clearly the communication must have been okay. I think he's actually slipped through here, boys. Be aware. So he knows at least he's been spotted. But if he gets marble again, I'm just done, Tim.
You're logging out. Logging out. You've had enough. We're going to see the hatches getting opened up. So Yura now has that support. He's been able to hold his angle. It's not actually got him any joy so far. The nade comes in. Ooh, he nearly gets his man. He was looking for marble, but it's going to be Soldier to actually open things up. That's the first entry kill that we've had on the side of Talon so far. Can they find any sort of benefit out of this man advantage now? 5 versus 4 as Lily is first to fall.
I think Marble's so scared of challenging it towards this hallway. Like I said earlier, if you're going to swing, have a shield at least. They still only got the one shield on side that I'm pretty sure isn't put in towards the hallway. But death is starting to rain down from FNATIC. The pressure coming in. Kitchen side, Moto side. At the minute, Talon just completely frozen up. Not quite sure exactly where the aggression's going to come from.
So weird, Des. Look, the lane is being shut down by those magic smoke canisters. You know, when you keep that operator alive, it's almost as if you can stop the attackers being aggressive. Yura does, however, manage to find Demic. Chibisu onto Marble. There will be no more toxic gas. Misa, he manages to find the trade with 2v2 as kills start to rain in. 15 seconds left to go, and this is turning into chaos. Siru, he thinks about getting that diffuser down. He's going to go for it again. He's going to look to make it stick. He's got Yura on the cover. He blasts through the soft wall into blue and then manages to flip around 180 turn and burn. Hits Soldier as he tries to push through into Moto. 2 versus 1 now. Advantage FNATIC. Diffuser down on the ground. It's all up to Misa. We've said that once, twice, 3 times before. He's trying to make the Alder sing, get anything going that he can, but FNATIC are happy to just dip back and play this from deep. Yura takes some damage, but he has the nanobot boost and can juice himself back up as Misa pushing through knows that there's going to be a man inside of Moto. Is the challenge going to come in? It's working from both sides. FNATIC, they know there's a matter of time. Siru finds the kill, and that is FNATIC with a flawless 6-0 half.
Well, that last round, I'll give it to Talon, was better. FNATIC were given some roadblocks they had to overcome, and they overcame them very, very well. Yura's rotating between long and threatening down towards main, but also putting pressure in Moto. He was doing the job of 2 players there, because otherwise normally what you might see is a drop into Moto and the player at the bottom of main holding that long angle. So he was just creating absolutely massive pressure whilst the rest of the team got themselves set up. And Tim, I got my answer where that shield was. Don't think I really like the position it was in. It was next to the bomb chassis inside of Church. So literally right above it, attached looking out towards Church triple wall. And I was like, why? Like, what is the purpose of it being there? You're not covering off on towards the stack rotate, for example. You've got no pressure coming inside of hallway itself to stop the player coming down main stairs, challenging you immediately. It just felt like a really weirdly placed shield overall that I'm still asking questions about why, to be honest with you.
You know, I don't disagree, Des. You know, you say there Talon it was a little bit better for them that round, but I sort of feel like that's saying, well, I'm not going to kick you in the leg again. I'm just going to punch you in the arm this time. You know, that's the sort of scale that we talk about. I'm not going to put anchovies on the pizza again, but I am going to chuck a bit of pineapple on there. You know,
don't you get started on that.
We are, you know, you're not seeing much of an improvement.
No, absolutely. And the thing is, I don't want this to be all about Talon and the questionable decisions they're making. Like, FNATIC are playing incredibly well.
Yes, they are.
I'll always go as far as saying they're playing a good attacking game against a team that simply cannot defend this map by the looks of it. So, of course, it's going to make them look absolutely excellent. The one thing it does encourage me for is next stage when they come up against some big teams. Can they roll this kind of momentum against bigger teams? Because although they slowed down in that last round, they still overcame the problems that they had Talon put in before them.
The thing that's impressed me, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, about that FNATIC attack has been their information, their use of information and drones. A team can defend as badly as you want, but if you don't know where they are and what they're doing, you will still find it difficult to attack into them. You can only take advantage of their weakness if you know where it is, and FNATIC did a great job of that. The question is now, can Talon do the same thing? Can they find the same sort of advantage through that utility? Now, they're going to have the opening kill. Yura's going to get taken down, and that does suggest that they know what's going on ahead of them here, but Lily, he manages to win the fight onto Marble, level things up, and again, getting kills out on the roam, it's not something that Talon were able to achieve on defense.
It's one of those I'm looking at and just thinking, this is so... I mean, look back when we had FNATIC pushing in a 3 versus 1. Lily's done it all by himself. A massive 3K. But think about Misa when he was stuck at top red by himself. FNATIC swamped him with nades, with everything, flashes. 3 players swinging in for kills. What's happened here? They've given Lily far too much room. He's found 3 kills and now can just say, right, boys, done my job. Back to site we go. It's a 4v2.
1 minute 20 left to go. And like you say, it's pretty much job done for FNATIC now. Let's not forget, they've also got Banshees on site. They've also got Vulcan canisters from Goyo. They've also got the potential of a couple of Kiba barricades that can be thrown up. This is extremely difficult for the 2 players remaining of Talon, one of which has only got 1 kill, the other is on 2. Soldier and Misa have got their work cut out for them. They're going to start to try and get something going. Misa's pushing down the tunnel. They're now going to be aware that he's there. Oh, look, there's one of those Goyo canisters that's just burnt out. Another 20 seconds of the time that he's got remaining before he can even think about pushing in through there. This is pretty much writing on the wall for Talon right now as they just try to get anything going. All you can do here is focus on 1 kill. Get 1 kill and then try to get another and another. That's the best hope.
Let's see what he can do here. Soldier inside of blue. He is the real one to make something happen, but I'm just not convinced it's going to work out for them necessarily. Lily takes a couple of chip shots coming in, but not quite taken out. Over the fire he goes, down to the Vector at the end of it. FNATIC just showing they are different class to Talon at the end of stage 2.
Absolutely built different there, and you've got to wonder where, like you said, yes, there have been mistakes on the Talon side. There's criticisms that we have made and that we will continue to make, I am sure, of that performance, and they themselves will be doing that, I'm sure, when they break it down. So yes, it was a little bit of men against boys, really, for FNATIC there, but you know, if FNATIC had played like that a little bit more through the stage, you sort of feel like there could have been a bit more joy for them along the way. I'm not saying that they would have had exactly the same outcome against the big teams, but what they were doing, the fundamentals, the drone work, the fragging, the shots they were hitting was clean and could have done better, I think.
What I think has been missing for FNATIC for a long time is showing that they are above the bar, that they deserve to be fighting for one of those top 4 spots. And I think, like you said, with the fundamentals we've seen today, they're showing, look, boys, don't write us off just yet. The improvement over the last 3 Playdays has been honestly spectacular from FNATIC. Talon, really disappointed their stage has ended like that after they said last week they really feel they finally got to understand where they're going. Maybe it's the map, but they're going to have to do a lot of work in the offseason if they're going to come back in stage 3 and look strong.
They absolutely are. There's, you know, there was a big gulf there between where they want to be and where they were. Like you say, lots of work to be done. We now are going to head into a short break after that very short match with FNATIC demolishing Talon 7-0. And when we come back, our analysts are going to pick it over, and I think they might have a thing or two to say about that Talon performance.
I can't wait to hear this.